Hello, Corey. Can you hear me?
Hi, I can. I'm getting this all turned on. Hello. Oh, how are you? Are you okay?
Hey, thank you for pivoting. It's been a really weird day. So yeah, I'm just grateful it all worked out and I was unscathed in the process. So
Yeah, oh my
yeah,
gosh. That is so, I can't imagine. Just
yeah,
what a
it's like,
morning.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm like, oh, it'll never happen, but it happened. But I survived it. And thank you for your grace
Good.
and just pivoting
Yeah, of
and
course. Thank
understanding.
you for still doing this today. I mean, that's just, yeah, such a
Oh,
gift.
yeah, I'm
So
like,
thank you.
yeah, of course. Like this is why I'm here. So I want to just welcome you to the digital living
Thank
room.
you.
Yeah. And,
Yes.
however you are arriving here, please feel free to, I already saw you drink water, drink
Yeah.
whatever, like whatever you have, feel free to move your body, feel free to make
Thank you.
sounds, to everything is welcome in this space.
Amazing.
And nothing interrupts the reading itself. So if someone comes in or
Okay.
pets or anything like that,
Okay. Great.
that happens all the time and it never breaks the
Okay.
connection. Um,
Beautiful.
yeah, and with that, before we even get started, I just want to first ask you, what are your pronouns, Corey?
She, her is
Perfect.
great.
Great. Just passing it on
Yes.
to spirit. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Perfect. And then without giving, any information away, is this your first time having a reading? Have you never had a reading? And then what type of reading were you really seeking today? Yeah.
Yes, this is my first one. I'm a
Yay!
baby to
Okay.
this.
So yes, 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 yes. Great.
Um, and I don't even know like what to call what I'm like looking for. But my mom passed away this year, so it's very
That's
much like that.
great. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So we'll start. I'll just explain. I usually do spirit guides or mediumship, which is our deceased loved ones. And so I'll
Mhm.
talk a little bit about what you can expect in that, and then
Okay.
we'll kind of just get started and see what shows up, who
Okay.
shows up, what's happening. So
Perfect. That sounds good.
the first thing is with the mediumship level, all I think of it as like turning a little dial on a radio and tuning into a channel. And all I am doing is opening up to that channel in your field and then allowing whatever energy is there to step forward. What I find is that it's a lot like doing charades in the dark. I never have any idea what I'm saying, why I'm doing it. I'm
Right.
really just allowing spirits to use my body, my voice, my mannerisms, my emotions, my nervous system, everything that they can to be able to translate what it is they want to bring across to you.
Mm.
Um, Already getting distracted, so great sign, great sign. So what I let me get through my speech. So what as we go along, feel free, to if anything comes up or you want to ask something or something happens, you can interrupt me.
Okay.
What I find is that they always will bring through things that I have no idea and only you
Hmm.
would understand. So I'll check in with you and say, how do you understand this? And you can tell me a little bit why. And then also, if it doesn't make sense, I'm not sure. Can I hear more? All that does is just
Hmm.
open up the energy and clarifies that I'm interpreting the information correctly.
Mm.
What I find is that they don't speak English. They're speaking the language of sound and the language of color and the
Mm.
language of energy. So I am translating that into words that we would understand here in the physical world.
Mm. Mm.
Um, in that, they bring through messages that go straight to the hearts of everyone that they're channeling for. So if you find yourself emotional, crying in awe, and
Hmm.
shock, a little laughter, all in between, it's all welcome.
Okay. Good. I'm
Yeah,
sure that will happen.
yeah, I am holding you, and so is an entire web of unseen beings as well.
Mm.
So that is so welcome in this space. And this can be a big experience. So I like to give people the recording to go over after to
Thank you.
integrate and then just to like comb through because it's a lot. It's a lot like a
Yeah.
psychedelic experience we're about to go into. So
Amazing.
yeah, and then towards the end, I'll open it up for a Q&A. So any questions you have for me, any questions you have for the spirits, anything that you want to know or has bubbled up, we'll open it up for that before we close and kind of go into what happens next in integration and being able to go forward with this information. So how
Beautiful.
does that all sound?
That sounds so good. Yeah, that just said so well. It's so funny. So I first heard about you in this book that I got. She's this artist and she wrote about like her experience losing her mom and she referenced you. And so it sent me on this little trail. And then I listened to you on Saw's Spiritually Sassy podcast, and it was just so beautiful. And I loved the way you spoke. So I can't believe I get to have a session with you, and I'm very excited.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. I'm like, what book? Who wrote a book? That's amazing. I wonder who that was. I don't remember.
Her name's Chelsea Granger, and it's called So Many Ways to Draw a Ghost.
Oh wow. I'll have to look that.
It's a beautiful book.
Chelsea Granger. Okay, that sounds really familiar to me. Yeah, I'll definitely have to look that up. So yeah, thank you for saying that. And it's just such an honor to read for you. And again, every time feels like the first time. So I don't know who will step forward today. And I will just call forward the spirit that most wants to come through in the ways that you know them. So before we even get started, I'm just going to invite you to breathe, to relax, and then just come open to this experience. And I'll just take a moment here to just ground myself and just start to open up to your field. And then once I feel a connection, I'm just going to start talking and then we'll go from there. So just taking this moment. Okay. So I'm unvalidate a few things before I bring this person through, but there's a lot of letting you know that of course they would come through. Of course she's here. Of course she would come through. And alleviating any panic or any apprehension that she wouldn't, because I can feel her like doting on you to be like, of course I would come through. You know, I'm going to come through. I'm going to come through. And this really wanting you to know that and feel that as she comes through and in her presence. There's also something before we even go deeper, she's like showing me things already to validate a few things. So I don't know how you understand the letters or the writing, because she just showed me letters and writing, and I'm just like, what is this writing? Because she just handed the box, like I feel like she's holding these letters, and I'm like, what are these letters? They're so beautiful. So I don't know how you understand the letters and connecting with her. Yeah.
Should I tell you, like, as I'm experiencing
go ahead.
She wrote us all like goodbye letters before she passed away. So yeah, like immediately that's like what it is.
Okay, great. So your mom's pulling out all the stops to make sure that you know that it's her. And again, bringing something that I would just have no idea why I'm saying. Again, and there's like lots of hearts. I feel like there's like little hearts and like so much love on these letters. So I don't know, it's like a little heart or something that she keeps showing me. And also the way that I'm going to say this, which is really interesting in your mother's field right now. She's making me feel this way that when she was in the physical plane, that she actually had time. And how she kind of is bringing this in is like, I know what's coming and I have time. And it feels almost unusual because there's almost this like calmness she's making me feel and this sort of like at peace. And this is like a very rare feeling that I felt with someone around their death and the dying, but she makes me feel like, I know. And I don't know how you understand this, or this would be her energy leading up to her death, but she makes me feel this like acceptance and this peace. And then this like, okay, what am I going to do now? Like, I've got these things to do. I've got these things to plan and like get together in this process. So I'm going to start doing that. How do you understand this?
She was diagnosed with cancer almost 6 years ago.
Oh my God.
But just this past year, like 2023, it just like took a really, really big turn that none of us really expected. And I think there was a lot of like holding both the like denial from our side, but like looking back, just so much knowing. And I've been thinking about that so much. The knowing like really just clicks.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. She just sent me full goosebumps all over my body to you and just validating what you already sensed, know, and felt. She said, I want you to know that what you felt in that was real. I did know. But she says, as a mother, you protect your children. She says, and that is what I was here to do. was protect all of you and put on a brave face
Yeah.
and have hope in your hope for me. Do you understand that?
A lot.
Yeah. She is just emanating so much love. It's like rolling through my body and getting sent to yours, just like over and over again right now. Like I can feel her energy just wrapping around you and wanting you to feel her love and how much she loves you. Do you understand this? She says, I will never stop being your mother. She says, I'm not going anywhere. She says, and I want you to really know that and feel that, especially in your life right now. She says, I am here guiding, protecting, and loving you from the other side. And it's a choice I have made from my spirit to be this close to the earth realm. And that's important for you to know. She makes me feel the pride, actually, that she has of being a mother, and the pride of still being a mother, even on the other side, because she's like literally like, okay, like I'm here for this. I have the, and she's like tending from the other side. So I don't know what this is, but she's like taking care of so much, and she's like in this other realm from the other side, and she's like, I could tell you everything that's up with everyone. I know what's going on, and I'm like, okay. So I don't know how you understand this, but this being your personality.
Yes. I'm probably just gonna cry through this.
Please do. Your mother says the process of these is really healing. She says your tears are helping you heal. She says it's a really important process. She says there's so many layers going on right now. You don't have to understand what you feel and what's happening. Just go with it. She says it's okay. So what the heck is she? Okay. She's showing me something very funny. I don't know what I'm looking at, but I feel like I'm looking at like a big purse or a big bag. So I don't know what this bag is that she's showing me, or a big purse, but I feel like there's like all of these things in it. And then I feel like a little bit made fun of. Like I got all the things going on, or like I carry around everything. So I don't know what it is about the bag or the purse, but she shows me like, it's almost like Mary Poppins with like all of these things happening inside of it. And she's cracking up at it. So I don't know how you understand this, but she's bringing up the purse, or the bag. Yeah. How do you understand that?
That feels a little like, I feel like I'm kind of reaching to like figure that one out, like to make it click.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's something around the crafts or the crafting and the bag. So I don't know what this is, but I feel like there's all these different little crafts in a bag. Like I don't even know what I'm looking at, but like little do crafts or put things together. It's like creative things, or I'm like, oh, cool, this sounds fun. So she's kind of referencing that as reference to the bag or the thing that holds all the crafts. So I don't know how you understand this.
Yeah, I feel like both of us have always been really creative together. So I don't know if that's like a connection to that. Yeah,
because there's something with the kids and the crafting is what she's showing me. I feel like I'm crafting with my kids or something, and we're like just having fun and like dabbling in things. And it's just fun. Like we're just hanging out and there's crafting going on. So again, what she's showing me is almost like I'm like at a table and there's like stuff all over, and we're like, okay, like putting together all these collages or crafts or things. And it's very simple, the moment, but the feeling that she's showing me is like literally the best ever, like literally lit up from the inside out. And just feeling so contented and so overjoyed at like having everyone like just fiddling with things. So I don't know how you understand this, but she makes me feel like that was everything to her. And that meant the most to her in these micro moments. Do you understand that? Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. She's showing me a few different things here. Slow down. So she's very versed on the other
side. that slow down, like just
she's like so fast. I'm like, I cannot keep up with her. She's like okay, spirits move fast, but your mom is like like showing me like 30,000 things at once and then talking about them, and I'm like, yo, like I can't keep up with you. Like, wait, I thought we were on here, and then she's like, no, over here now, and I'm like, what? So again, just
So on
reference
brand. Yeah.
personality and kind of the way that she thought. And also this fiddling. I don't know why she's using the word fiddling, but the energy of the fiddling is like very similar to like how she was in the physical world. So she says, my hands are in a lot of pots right now. And I'm like, okay. So she feels like that was like exciting to her to like have her hands in lots of different things and kind of be doing different things. So I don't know what this is, but I feel very busy. I feel busy and I feel like my mind is going constantly. And that's just how I am. That's just how I am. Do you understand this? Would this be her? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. She hasn't changed. She says a lot has remained the same. She goes, that was a lot of my energy, my spirit, and how I felt aliveness and how I felt a zest for life and living, she says, was to go into all these little things and be open, she says, to new ideas and new thoughts. So I don't know what this is, but she shows me her mind's kind of opening up and expanding and listening to you tell her about different, I feel like I'm listening to like we're having a conversation and you're telling her about all these things she's never really thought of before. And she's like, wow, really? Like, for example, she's like, trauma really does this, or that happens with the body or energy, or whoa, wow. Okay. And she says, I want to thank you for the ways that you grew me and the ways that you opened me up to worlds I didn't really even know. She says, that was everything to me. She says, you were such a gift to me here in this physical realm. She says, and I want you to really know that and feel that. Do you understand that? Yeah. She says, I learned so much from you. She says, you were so much braver than I was. She says, she's telling me about you. It's really cute. She's like, Ash, you know how much work she's done? And I was like, no. She's like, she is not afraid to go into those places and like deep inside of herself and open these doors and like really look at them. And I was like, yeah, get me out of here. I don't want to go that deep. Like, it's a little bit scary. I'm interested, but like, ooh, okay. So I don't know what this is that she's referring to, but she makes me feel that that very much was something she always admired in you and looked up to you in, because you were willing to face things that she said I myself was unwilling to face with my own childhood and with my own past. And that feels important for you to know and understand. Do you understand that? She says, I don't want you to worry about me having a good life or not. She says, I want to remove that from you right here, right now. She shows me this like question, all these question marks. And I feel like I'm questioning, like, did she have the best years? Maybe she didn't. Could they have been better? Could I have done more? Was there something out? Like, she says, no. She says, I got everything I could possibly have dreamed of, and you were enough, and what you did was enough. She says, I don't want you to feel guilty about those moments anymore. She says, I loved and cherished the moments I had with you. She said, and I wanted for nothing more. I wanted for nothing more, and I expected nothing more. Yeah. Your mom is, she's referencing a few different things. So again, I'm going to try to keep up with her. She's so fast. One of the things she's showing is her being in the hospital, and it's not just one time, it's like several incidences, and they're really scary is what I'm going to say. Like, they're freaking me out. Like, I'm like, oh shit, mom's in the hospital. And then it's like this feeling of like, because there's so many, I couldn't be at every single one and I couldn't make it. And then I feel awful inside. Like, I should have been there. It was really, really bad. And your mom is like, no, absolutely not. There was reasons that you couldn't make it and reasons why you couldn't come. She said, there are things that you did not need to see and did not need to experience. She says, you have already had so much that you were holding and so much that your nervous system was already trying to regulate. She says that I did not want to overload you anymore. And she wants you to know that. Do you understand that? She says, sweetheart, breathe. Breathe, sweetheart. It's okay.
Wow.
She's actually rocking you in her arms. And I can see you, you're like very tiny, like a little baby. And I can hear her like singing to you. So I don't know what this is, but I can just hear her voice and it's like lulling. And she's just singing to you and holding you and rocking you. And she says, I want you to remember this when you have moments of just overwhelm of the grief of losing me. Let me rock you and hold you and sing to you. And it'll be okay. She says, I know there are so many moments that you wish I could see, and I do. I do. I'm with you. She shows me like these milestones. Like, I feel like I'm like some examples are like marriage or like all these different things that are like happening. And I'm like, where's my mom? Like, how is my mom not here for these things? How is she gonna know? Does she know? Can she hear me? Like, she's like, I see everything. I can hear everything and I can see everything. She says, I want you to know that and know that I miss out on nothing. She says, yes, you can't hold my hands and feel me, but you can feel me in a different way. And I will be with you every step down that road. And that feels really important. Do you understand that?
Yes.
What
that
is
feels
with
really good?
Okay. I'm like, who is getting married? Because what is the white dress? I don't understand what the white dress she's showing me.
I don't know either. No one.
Okay, because she just showed me a white dress and then like getting married or like a commitment ceremony. I don't know what I'm looking at, but I'm gonna she showed me it 3 times, so I just pass it through when it comes through in that way. So I'm gonna give that to you, but there's something around the acknowledgement of the getting married and then the dress. I don't know what this dress. So I don't know if it's someone in the family is getting married, but something is there. But she knows about that, and that's important to pass on.
Okay.
Don't be surprised if you that hits you after and you understand why that's there. Okay. Okay. Do you, she's referencing her jewelry. So do you have pieces of her jewelry? Because she just pointed to her fingers. I just saw a ring. And then I'm like, what's the ring? Are we getting married? And she's laughing. She's like, no, the ring. And I'm like, oh, the ring. So she's referencing the ring. Do you understand that?
Yeah. That's like the only piece of jewelry I took from the house was a ring.
Perfect. So she, again, just validating that she knows that you took that piece of the ring and she's glad that you took what you wanted and not all the things. Because she's like, some of that, no one's going to want, Ash. I'm like, okay. So I don't know. She goes, I'd rather have you one piece than like all of that other stuff because I don't know all the other stuff. I'm like, okay. She says, I'm glad that you have it. I'm glad that it reminds me reminds you of me, as she says, and I'm deeply appreciative of the ways that you still honor me here in the physical world, the ways that you still have me up. She shows me like a photo of her, and I feel like there's like, I don't know what this is, but it's like, it's not like an altar, but it kind of is just like an area where I have her that feels like an altar to me. And it feels really special in a way. I'm like, hey mom, hi. And like, just, she's there. So she wants to acknowledge that and just thank you for the ways that you presence her in your daily life, and also the ways that you talk to her and communicate with her. She says, I hear you. Even if it's in your thoughts, even if it's in your heart, she says, I can hear it very clearly from where I'm at, and I hear you. And she says, I want you to know what you experience in the signs you receive are real from me. So,
Oh my gosh, that's so insane.
so I don't know what this is, but she just showed me my sign for symbols, which is this little butterfly flying by, and then I feel
Stop.
the wing.
Stop. Oh my God, that's so crazy.
So how do you understand the butterfly? How do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Your mom's getting a chuckle out of this one. She was like, she didn't think it was going to be this clear, Ash. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's all you. Your mom's doing a great job. So she just wants to validate that when you see these things, you're not crazy. You're not trying to imagine them. You're not in so much grief that you're making them happen. Literally, your mom is influencing these beings, and because they are on such a high vibration, they respond to energy very quickly, and so they come in and they say hi, and then once she kind of has stopped the energy, they'll just fly away, and that's because they're like, oh wow, wait a minute, I had to go back to the butterfly. So just so you know, that's real.
Wow. I'm like so shook right now.
Totally normal. Okay, so yeah. Okay. Who is this? Okay, who is the male figure? Your mom is referencing a young male. So I don't know how you understand this, but she just said a young male. And then it's like, I feel like I'm in the family. So I want to reference the young male in the family that she's wanting to speak with or speak to. And that feels important. The connection, I don't know. Okay, this is interesting. She just pointed to my hat and said, your hat, he wears hats. So I don't know who is like, wears a cap or something now. But
I know exactly who it is. Yeah.
Because she's making a lot of reference to him and wanting to be able to acknowledge him in what he also experiences of her on a regular basis, that he kind of just like, that's crazy. I don't think so. And pushes it away. She says, it's me. You can trust what you're feeling. It's me. And in fact, she wants to be able to validate some things that he senses and feels. So, what is this? Okay. So she just kind of shifted the radio station, and she's trying to find a channel, and then like a song came on. So I don't know, again, this is something you'd have to validate with him, but I feel like I hear a song come on and I'm like, oh my God, it reminds me of her. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is like crazy. Like, how could that? No. And then my brain kind of like talks me out of it. So she's, that's me. She's like, I'm trying to come through. And just validate that what he senses is real and what he feels is real. This is very interesting. Now, who would this be with in connection with your mom?
If it's specifically, if you got the feeling it's a young person, which you feel like it was specifically young,
I don't
then
feel.
It's my sister's boyfriend.
Sister's boyfriend.
Who's close with the family.
Okay.
Which is very random.
I don't mean to pop any balloons here or play any information, but the wedding dress came up 3 times with him.
That was when you said that, I was like, if anything, like that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, your mom's like, I'm like, she's like literally doing. She's like, I am doing the most for you, Ash. I'm like, I know, I got it. Because she's like, wedding him, and I'm like, got it. Great. So again, don't be surprised if about it. And this very much feels like a message for him. She says, you have my unending approval to marry my daughter. She says to him directly, you never have to question that. She says, you knew that from the beginning. She says, you are so in the family. She says, and I want you to know that I give you my blessing And that absolutely yes, if you're thinking about it. And that feels like something he really needs to hear in his own thoughts of like, how can I do this without her being here? How would she feel? How do I ask her mother? Like, how do I, and it feels like normally he might have a conversation with her and talk to her because he's so close. And there is so much regularity in their crossings and meetings. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So he feels a little bit like, how could I do that? Or conflicted about, is it okay? Is it right without her here? So again, this very much feels like a personal message to him. I hope we don't spot, but that if he's thinking about it, thumbs up. Your mom's like, yeah. And she makes me feel elated to think about it. And again, the message, your mom is hysterical. She's really funny. She's like now talking to your sister, and she's like talking to your sister, and she's like, and again, this is wild. Your mom is like talking in the future. So it's like, wow, it's like your mom is giving gifts before they even happen for the future. She's like putting these things down. So the message that she's bringing through is like, when your sister, again, gets proposed to, she says, don't worry about the dress. You'll find the perfect dress. I feel like I can feel your sister like stressing about the dress. Like, what is it going to be? It can't be too sexy. It's got to be this way. It's got to be classy, but it's got to be, I don't know. Like, so your mom is like, don't worry about the dress. We'll figure it out together. So there's very much this energy that your mom says, I'll be with you every step of the way, even in the biggest decisions and choices and milestones in all of your lives. And that's important for you to know. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
She says, I meant every word that I said in that letter. She says, and my way of backing up what I said to you is being able to continue to mother you from the other side. And being able to let you know that anytime you need me, I am right here. I am right here. She says, you don't ever have to be strong or be brave. You can be however you feel. She says, you've always been such a feeler. She just called you my little feeler.
Oh, yep.
And she just like held you, like, come here, like, it's okay. Come here. And she makes me feel your heart, and how much she says your heart is just wide open to the world and wide open to people, and just you feel it all. She goes to every angle, every degree, you know, even when it's really hard and difficult, and when it's beautiful, like you just feel it all. She says, and this is your power. This is your gift. She says, it is never a burden. It is never a burden. And if anyone ever makes you feel that way, they are not that person for you. And that's important for you to know. Do you understand that? Okay. I don't know. Your mom is like switching gears right now and talking about, yeah, she just showed me a man in the physical world, and the energy of this man in connection with you. And then this energy, I don't know what this is. Because what she's making me feel is almost this way of like cut offness from his own emotions and not being able to articulate his feelings. So I don't know how you understand this, but I feel like she's showing me a few different things. I'm going to try to, she's being like super nuanced here. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but she just showed me sort of this like coming together, and then this like pulling apart and this separation. And then it feels like there's this energy or something of this person that just feels really like not okay or not right or just not aligned to what you want to feel. So I don't know how you understand this, but she shows me sort of this, it's like this guy, I don't know, he feels just like he's not bad or necessarily, he's just sort of cut off from his own feeling place, from his own emotions, from his own sensitivity. There's sort of some like toxic masculinity sort of like going on. And then it's
Mhm.
like I tap into your energy and then I feel you, and it's like you're soft and open and like loving and like emotional and just like really like letting it out. And there's sort of this like opposite thing going on. So she wants to be able to talk about this. How do you understand this energy dynamic relationally?
I feel like at first when you said I was trying to like be open to whatever like different male figures I guess are in my life. And as soon as you said like the toxic masculinity, which this is a very random like dynamic in relationship, but my father-in-law, who is like a very close person in her life, but like post my mom passing has been like a really tensiony relationship for me for those reasons.
Great.
Which is just interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So and again, your mom, she says she's really bringing up these things where you hold heaviness in your body around them. And she's
Mm.
wanting you to just let go of it because she shows me that this has nothing to do with you. And that even the ways that, again, this person feels very complex, is what I'm going to say, in who they are, this man, and the way that unintentionally sort of uses his energy, and can manipulate what he wants out of some sort of interaction or some sort of thing or whatever it is. So your mom is really like mama bearing hard, she says, around protecting you from that and around you being okay, having distance, having space from him. And that feels important for you to know, and also let go of any guilt that you have around that or any should, he says. She says no shoulds, absolutely not. And that feels just really, really important. It feels like he's working out a lot on his own and also not very aware of what he's putting out and how he's saying things. It's like what he's saying is just like, oh my gosh, like what? So your mom is just
Let's do this.
okay. Because I'm like, yeah, she just makes like oh God, like rolled her eyes over. Yeah, and not wanting that to come out on you because of how kind, because of how loving, and because of how open you are. And especially, she says, because of how things were before are not the same as they were now. She says, Ash, the family has changed. The family has changed. And I am no longer kind of holding the center of certain things anymore. And so she says, dynamics have changed and things have felt different, and it has been hard. She says, and I want you to know, although it's hard and although it's very different, it's going to be okay and it's going to get better. And that's important for you to know and to feel. She shows me sort of the isolation, and sort of everyone retracting to their own kind of lives. So I don't know what this is, but it's like we're not sort of getting together as much, or we're not like coming together as much. There's sort of this distance and we're not quite sure what to do about it. So your mom is just wanting to preference that. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
She says you will find your way in re-coming together, and not everyone will re-come together, and that's okay. Says the ones that really want to will make it a priority and make it happen. She says, I know that this is important to you. And it feels really good to have family together and to be connecting and talking and laughing and sharing. And just that baseline, that touchstone, that anchor that it was for you for so long. She says, it will come again, just in a different way. Just in a different form. Yeah.
Wow.
Your mom is really funny. She's starting to play with a dog right now. So I don't know how she's playing with this dog, but she's like literally like throwing a toy, and then the dog's like running back, and I'm like, who is this dog? Like, why is there a dog here all the time? She's wanting to make reference about the dog and playing with the dog. So I don't know how you understand the dog, but she shows me very much interacting with the dog, and having like a blast with this dog. And this dog's energy is like high. Like there's a lot of energy with this dog. Like yeah, like so, how do you understand this?
I mean, I'm taking it as like our literal dog, which is exactly how you're explaining it.
Okay, great. Because she shows me, again, this is important for you to know. This happens often, I find actually, but she's showing me right now is her like literally playing with the dog, like throwing a toy, like, and the dog's running around.
Mm-hmm.
Seemingly no one's here. Like the dog is just like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of weird things. She says, I want you to know that I'm interacting with the dog. And also that's another way that you know I'm around. Because the dog is literally like doing all of these weird things and also just like staring at the ceiling, like, oh. And I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like up on the ceiling and she's like, like, so that's, she's wanting to validate that. Do you under, how do you
Literally the other day, I was at my parents' house, and there's this one spot in the garage where my mom spilled paint because she moved so quickly and she was really clumsy. And instead of cleaning it up, she just drew a giant heart on the middle of the garage floor with the paint. And the other day, I was out with our dog when I was there trying to let it go to the bathroom, and it kept pulling towards the garage, and it just went right to the heart and like sat down. And I was like, oh, like, this is crazy. And I just feel like I've had so many moments where I'm just like, are you like experiencing, like, what are you experiencing right now? So yeah, it's just really crazy.
Your dog is indeed, she says, experiencing me, and experiencing lots of energy. She says animals are so sensitive to things we can't see, things we can't hear, and things we can't feel. She says, so it's an easy way to be able to connect with you through the dog and let you feel my love. She says, especially when the dog gets up on you and lays on your chest. She goes, I want you to know and feel me, that that's me, that I'm there, that I'm trying to let you feel me, that you can physicalize that hug, that comfort when you need it. I don't know what she does. She's just like these paws on me. And I'm like, oh, these little paws, like, hello. And I just start crying. So again, just wanting you to know if you have moments like that, that is her also having an influence on this dog to comfort you,
Mm-hmm.
to let you know it's okay when you're having a hard time. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
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 Oh my gosh, your mom is incredible. She's turning to me now. She's like, "How did I do?" And I was like, "You did amazing. You did amazing. Like you're not going to get graded. Like this is." I just love her. She's like, "I did okay. Did I do okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, you did great." She's turning.
Literally, the mannerisms are like blowing me out. Wow.
She says it's so hard to not be with you all in person. She says it's the hardest thing I had to do was leave here. And that's why it took so damn long. She goes, Ash, I tried so many times. I just couldn't do it. I kept getting popped back into my body because I was like, my kids, I can't. And then it just carried on for years and years. She says, but seriously, that's what happened. She says, I stayed as long as I could. She says, and I also want you to remember this, to laugh even when you cry, that it's okay to have both, and that my memory is not lost when you're laughing. It actually is heightened when you're laughing. She says, I love you and I'll always be here. Love you, Mom. I I just want to take this moment to acknowledge your mom and thank her for the wild and wondrous and astounding and jaw-dropping way that she came through for you today and your family. It is an honor to have her come through my body and be able to be with you. And I want to thank you for being so open to receiving your mom and all of the wild situations she brought through that you already sense, know, and feel in your life, and your siblings and your all the other people. Like, it's just remarkable. So I want to thank you. And I hope this was helpful and healing to you in some way. And yeah, I just want to check in with you and just see how you are in this moment. Yeah.
I'm wrecked in like the best way. Yeah, thank you so much. I grew up in like a very conservative evangelical family, so like I have just all the expanding of like stuff for me has been the past several years, and like this would have never been something I would have done, but like now is just the most like beautiful gift. So thank you.
You're so welcome. And
Yeah.
This is a lot. This is a huge portion. People are like, oh, it's just a reading. I'm like, ooh, it's like a big portal we went through, right?
Yeah.
We go through time and space and different energy. So allowing yourself to integrate your body, we're breaking the brain a little bit. We're going through that the brain is like, wait a minute, what? So as you go about your day, leaving time, if you can, to just do a little walk, breathe, drinking lots of water, eating good foods, all these things just help the body regulate. And then noticing a lot of people report back of like signs being ticked up for the next 24 hours. Noticing all these things, and also your dreams might in a good way be really kicked up. And so allowing that to be more validation of this experience and allowing yourself to integrate. You'll have the recording so you can comb through all of these details for the entire family.
I was going to ask you in the beginning, I was like, please record this. And I was like, okay, it's recording. Like,
so much. And a lot of the things that don't make sense in the moment ends up happening in the next few weeks to a month. I get hundreds of emails a day about things that happen that spirits planted and your mom planted you for what's to come. And those are big gifts, so we can keep experiencing it down the road. So again, I want to thank your mother and sending so much love to your family and you right now in this time. And my heart is with you. And thank you for letting me read for you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking your energy and doing that's amazing. I'm just gonna hold all of this for a long time.
Totally normal. So I'll email this to you. Have an amazing time with your friends, and I'll talk to you very soon.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye, Corrie. You're welcome.
Bye.